Hey guys, happy Thursday. Let me know in the Q&A or the chat, whichever you can get to, if you can hear me. Can somebody let me know that you can see and hear me and see the presentation that's on the screen? I want to make sure before I go too far that y'all can actually hear me. Yay. All right. Thanks, Joanne. Thank you, Miriam. I appreciate that. Thanks, Jan. All right, let's go ahead and get started, you guys. This is a webinar that I have presented before in the past with slight changes because my journey has changed a little in the last year or so. So my journey to getting healthy has been one that I've spent my whole life chasing. And it wasn't until the last few years that I finally, I don't want to say figured it out because I think we're always learning and growing and changing, but I got on the right path finally. After many years of struggling with my weight, I finally got on the right path. So this was me in 2020 with, I don't know if I'm over on my screen, my face is over it. I changed this slide. This slide did say I am a food addict. I no longer call myself a food addict anymore. I am a recovering food addict. I will always be a recovering food addict, no different than an alcoholic who is in recovery, a drug addict who's in recovery. It will always be a journey to change for me. And it will always be something that I'm going to be battling and working through. But I feel like at this point, I have recovered from food addiction, that I have good control over my addiction. But my addiction, I never really called it an addiction for many, many years. I just thought truly that I was just struggling to get healthy. I used to say, I just like to eat. I just like food. Life is short. I want to eat the good stuff. I didn't really consider it an addiction. But when I look back at the way my journey went all of those years, it was like a hamster on a wheel, a dangerous wheel. On a diet, off a diet, on a diet, off a diet. Start on Monday, stop on Wednesday. Do it again the next week, over and over and over. Hear on Oprah of a new diet, run right out and get the book. Read the book, start the diet, buy all the things, do it for a while, maybe have a little success, fall off the wagon, find something new, start again. I spent my life on that cycle from, I remember the first time that I went on a diet that I can remember, probably happened before that, but I remember being 12 years old in the church basement weighing in on a Monday. And I remember that we could eat zero. How was it? We could eat up to 20 carbs in a day, but we could eat 0 grams of fat. So we would eat as many SnackWells in a day as we could possibly get in because they were low carb and zero fat, but they were full of terrible chemicals. But I can remember way back then, on again, off again. This was me in 2019 at my heaviest weight, which was 251. And this was right before in 2020 when I decided to give Trim Healthy a try again. I had lost maybe 35 pounds with Trim Healthy one time, but like my typical cycle, I had fallen off the wagon and I had gained everything back that I had lost and was miserable, to be honest. I was completely miserable. And it was way more than just my weight that caused me to feel the way I felt. This is what my cycle looked like. On Monday, you know what? That's it. I'm going on a diet and I'm getting skinny. I can remember thinking that a million times. That's it. We're done. This was it. I had my last bingey weekend. I had my last order of takeout. I had my last Chinese food. That's it. I'm getting skinny. That's all there is to it. I'm done with this nonsense. And then Tuesday usually looked like, you know what? Yesterday wasn't so bad. I did it. I can do this. I can get healthy. This is great. Pack my lunch for the next day for Wednesday. And then my team decides to order takeout at work. And I think to myself, well, I did really good on Monday and Tuesday. Maybe one meal won't hurt me. I mean, I don't want to be that one person on the team that doesn't order out. Everybody else is doing it. I don't want to miss out. I'll just have this one meal and I'll be fine. It's just one meal. You can't live life without anything fun. So I'll just go ahead and have the takeout. Thursday, maybe the family wanted takeout that night. And I think, you know what? I'm going to join in too, because after all, life is short. That phrase spun in my head so many times. Life is short. Life is too short to miss out on all the good stuff. I am missing out on life by not enjoying the cakes or the cookies or this treat or that treat or this restaurant or that restaurant. Because in my head, in my addicted head, in my desire to eat those foods and my reliance on those foods for comfort, I felt like that if you took that away from me, the only thing that remained was unhappiness. And it wasn't because I wasn't happy in my personal life or anything like that. It was that the food was one of my, if not my best friend. My food was there. It never treated me wrong, or so I thought. Life is short. I'm going to enjoy the food. How can I spend my whole life missing out on good food? And then Friday, without fail. I mean, I've eaten off plan twice this week already. At this point, what is the point on a Friday? I might as well just enjoy the weekend because Monday is coming again. I'm just going to go ahead and eat what I want. And usually for me, that looked like eating as much as I could through the weekend, especially Sunday afternoon, because I knew Monday was coming and I was going to get healthy. And that's all there was to it. And that cycle, when it sounds almost ridiculous, but that is the cycle I lived for years. Maybe not always to that extreme, but usually very, very close. This was my journey. And I know that it was probably somebody's journey who's on this webinar tonight, because it is a story I hear over and over and over again. Another good picture of a cycle. Well, yeah, Monday, here we go again. Another good picture of a cycle that I had been through, and sometimes this one went right along with the other cycle. January 1st, you know what? I'm starting Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers has got a special. I'm going to sign up. It's a discount. I'm going to go ahead and do the Weight Watchers, and I'm going to kill it. March 1st, stupid Weight Watchers. It doesn't work. Weight Watchers doesn't work. You know what? I'm going to do keto because I can eat bacon. I can eat lots of bacon and cheese and eggs. I'm not having any vegetables, but I'm going to eat keto. I quit 3 weeks later because if I see another pepperoni stick, I'm going to die. I can't. I'm constipated, uncomfortable, miserable, and hate everything about my keto journey. And then I take the summer off. August 1st rolls around, I start Trim Healthy. This is just an example. Okay, I'll start Trim Healthy. I do okay. I get through August, maybe even some of September, and then the holidays hit. The holidays come and it's the most decadent and busy and chaotic and sugar-filled season of the year. So I'm certainly not going to miss out on the holiday treats. Why would I do that to myself? I'll start January 1st. And that cycle all over again. Maybe next January it wasn't Weight Watchers. Maybe I'm starting out with whatever, the 3-hour diet, or I'm going to start carnivore, or I'm going to start something else on January 1st, intermittent fasting, something. It was always something new to try. I don't know about you, but I was very sick of that cycle. I knew on Monday morning when I started again exactly where that was going to land me. I knew exactly how the week was going to end. I knew it. I would go to bed very often Sunday night, praying and praying and praying that God would help me stick to the journey. Please, God, help me lose weight. And it was never, please, God, help me honor you. It was never, God, I want to get healthy to be around for my family. It was never, I want to be fit for service to you. It was, God, I just want to be skinny. I want to be skinny. I wanted to look a certain way. I had people in my life that had lost weight or were already thin. I wanted to be the thin girl. I had never been the thin girl, and I'd prayed for it for years, but I never put anything in action or really committed my journey to the Lord. I didn't know how to stop the cycle. The cycle was constant, and I didn't know what to do about it. So, how did I break the cycle? First of all, the very first step for breaking the cycle for me was vulnerability. I made a post on the Trim Healthy page that was not intended to do what it did. It was, at the time, I don't think I realized what a cry for help that post was, but that's exactly what it was. I made a post on the Trim Healthy page with a look on my face that I see in my nightmares, this look of dejection, sadness, misery. I was just miserable. And I didn't know how to get out of the pit that I had found myself in, this hole that I dug myself in. I felt like my journey at that point was hopeless. I was never going to lose the weight. Nobody would ever be able to help me. How am I ever going to get out of this situation that I'm in where I lose a little, gain a lot, lose a little, gain a lot? And I just kept getting unhealthier and healthier. Blood pressure was high, blood sugar was pre diabetic, cholesterol was through the roof. My inflammation markers were through the roof, and inflammation is the first step, is the first thing that causes cancer. So I knew I was on a dangerous road. So I made a vulnerable post on the Trim Healthy page. I was very honest with how I was feeling. And the women on that page, I had posted on that page before, but I think God knew at that point what I needed and that maybe my heart was ready, because women came around me from all over the country and supported me. That took getting that support, took being vulnerable. The other thing it took was being honest with myself. I had to recognize exactly where I was. I was telling my husband my blood pressure wasn't that bad, my blood sugar was fine, that the doctor said I'm healthy. I was not being honest with myself or my family. I could not admit to myself just how dangerous of a situation I had got myself into. I had to ask people in my life, women in my life, parents, family, friends, husbands, children, husbands. There's only one. I can only handle one. There's one. I had to ask all of them for accountability. I had to be honest with them and ask for accountability. I also, and this is the biggest change right here, is I had to make the decision that I was going to honor God with my journey, that it was going to be about Him. It wasn't going to be about the scale. It wasn't going to be about getting to a certain size. It was about honoring God with my body and making choices that were good for my body because it honored Him. Those things didn't happen overnight, by the way. It's taken me a lot of learning, a lot of Bible study. It took me daily devotions every single day, time in the Word. It took me talking every single day with other mamas that are on plan that understood the struggle. The vulnerable post led me to posting more and posting more and posting more. And those posts led me to accountability partners who asked me to cook something live one day because they couldn't figure out how to do it. I don't even remember what it was, but they said, could you make that live? Because it never turns out right for me. And so I thought, okay, weird, but okay. So I cooked it live, and I've been cooking live on Facebook and YouTube ever since. Those accountability partners held me accountable every single day. And I'm not saying you have to now start cooking on Facebook and YouTube in order to stick to your diet, but having those women in my life to hold me accountable, people that understood food addiction, they've been there or they were there, people that struggled with their diet every single day and needed somebody to hold them accountable, we worked together. But the one of the big things for me too is that I found joy in the journey. I stopped looking at this weight loss journey as something I had to do because I had to lower my blood pressure. I started looking at it as something I got to do. I got to turn my life around. I got to make these changes. I didn't have to look at healthy food as a punishment. I got to look at it as an opportunity to try new things, learn to love new things, and have fun with them because I shared it with accountability partners. But there was a very, very critical piece, even in all of that, that was still missing. And this is the piece that I have really found over the last year and a half to 2 years. And that is recognizing my worth. I did not believe, for whatever reason, I think, you know, I don't know why any of us feel the way about ourselves that we do, whether it comes from childhood, like bullies in school, or, I had an uncle that used to pick on me a lot. Whatever the case is, I didn't necessarily recognize my worth. I now, you know, I was at the time making time and effort for the things that I believed were worth it. I didn't believe I look back now and I didn't believe that I was worth it. My family was worth it, so I put in effort to cook for them, to take care of the house for them, to do this for them. Friends and family, I would do things for them. I would help people however I could because I believed they were worth it. But I never truly believed that I was worth the effort. I didn't recognize my worth because for all of those years, I looked for my worth in how I looked, in my shape, in what people thought about me, what people said about me, whether I could look in the mirror and like what I see or not. That's where I looked for my worth. I didn't look for my worth where it belonged. My worth belonged in Christ. And I didn't recognize, I knew it deep down, but I'm not sure that I ever truly believed it. When I started to believe it, that mindset changed everything. My journey now, I make health. Do I want to lose weight? Heck yes. Why? Because my knees hurt, my ankles hurt. I want my knees to feel better. I want to continue to lose weight to feel better. I want to be able to go for a run and not, well, maybe not. I'd like to be able to go for a nice long walk and not die. I don't ever want to run. There'd either have to be someone chasing me for me to run, or there would have to be a taco truck at the end of the road for me to run. Otherwise, I'm not running. I I had to recognize that my God loved me, and he loved me at 251 pounds. He loved me if I was 100 pounds. He loved me if I had high blood pressure, if I had high blood sugar. Those things were not what defined who I was. What defined who I was who I was in Christ. And I had to recognize that. And when I finally recognized that, that mindset changed everything about my journey. I was able to much more easily make the changes that I knew I needed to make because I believed I was worth it. And when I believed I was worth it, it made making the changes easier. That led me to the desire of 100% change, not just to start on a Monday and end on a Thursday, not just to make excuses when somebody offered me something on off plan, not just to constantly be looking for a reason to go out to eat so I could have something off plan that I loved. It led me to a desire to just be on plan. That recognizing that, and that recognizing that didn't just come from one of the things I listed. It came from accountability partners, mamas who understood it, like-minded women who got the journey. It came from Bible study. It came from being part of a small community, my friends on Marco Polo that I talk with every day that keep me encouraged and support me. It came, all of those things together led me to the desire to change 100% how I looked at this journey. All in for me, being 100% on plan. I am 1,451 days on plan. I don't say that to brag. I don't say that to say that it's always been easy because it has not. We were out to lunch today at Carrabba's and they brought a loaf of bread to the table and there was dipping oil and this fluffy white bread with a crusty outside. Did I want to dive into that? Yes, I did. But I didn't dive into it because I recognize that that is not good for my body. It does not lead me to the best temple that I can have. I don't feel that it's a sin to eat off plan, but I know where an off plan choice leads me. So I avoid it. I have found that staying 100% on plan has been so much easier and so much more full of peace than being one leg in and one leg out. That on again, off again, on again, off again cycle was hard, you guys. That cycle, I know you know it. Most of you have probably been there. You may be there now. You may have been there at some point in your life. That on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again was so much harder than being completely on plan. But I needed the right tools necessary to be on plan. It wasn't completely just up to me and the decision. I needed the support. I don't have constant restarts anymore. I don't live in shame because I'm constantly feeling like a failure. I don't struggle with the constant Monday's coming and I need to make a good, healthier choice. Financially too, I hear some folks say, oh, it's so expensive to eat healthy. Do you know when I was on again, off again, on again, off again, I was spending way more money. And I'll tell you why. Because I would clean out my fridge of all the junk and I would go buy all the healthy things that I needed. And then 4 days later, I would go buy the junk because now I didn't want to eat the healthy things that I bought and I had fallen off the plan. That happened a lot. I was constantly refilling my fridge with healthy food and wasting it. And I was eating out junk all the time. I was ordering junk all the time. I was spending a lot more money than I ever do now being on plan. But that constant restarting, that constant feeling of I failed at this again and praying, God, why can't I get this right? That just feeling of despair about failing again and again and again is gone. I don't have that in my life anymore. So, if you desire lasting change, I want to talk to you about how I can help you. The craziest, most sugar filled season of the year is coming. The holidays are coming. There is no way around it. Halloween, whether you celebrate it or not, will be full of sugar. It will be everywhere. If you work out of the house, there are bowls of candy everywhere. Your kids are going to have candy. There's going to be candy coming home from church. There's going to be candy bowls at church. There's tons of stuff there. The pumpkin season, the lattes, and all that stuff is happening. The November with all of its Thanksgiving get togethers and Thanksgiving at this house and at that house and all the side dishes and all the pies. Christmas is coming and that comes with all the parties and all the goodies and all the gifts of food. And it's just everywhere. We are surrounded by food that makes it difficult for us to make healthy choices the entire 3 months coming up. I every year do Holy Healthy Holidays. This is the Holy Healthy Holidays what started Holy Healthy with KJ. This is our third, I think, yes, third Holy Healthy Holiday season where I am doing a quarterly package that comes with a ton of support. But more than support, it comes with fun. We focus on getting you through the holiday season completely on plan. Now, that doesn't mean if you have an off plan meal during the holidays that you're kicked out of my group and banned and you're never allowed back in. That is not how this works. Our goal at Holy Healthy is to keep you as on plan as we can keep you. And if we can get you through the holidays 100% on plan, I can tell you your life will change. When I learned that I was capable of going 100% on plan was when I got through my first holiday season 100% on plan. When I finished, I got through the end of New Year's and thought, I haven't been off plan since September. I have stayed 100% on plan through the entire Halloween season, pumpkin season, the apple season at the orchard with all the crisps and the donuts. I have stayed on plan through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, through New Year's. I haven't gone off plan once. If I can do that, there is no reason for me to ever go off plan. I can stay on plan forever. That totally changed my belief in myself. During the 3 months of Holy Healthy Holidays, you get 6 coaches. You don't just get KJ, but you get Coach Susan, Coach Crystal, Coach Christy, Coach I can't even talk, Coach Mary and Coach Gina. Every one of them has different specialties. I have a coach that specializes in GLP-1s, if that's your journey. I have a coach that's diabetic and she helps diabetics. I have self-care coaches. I have mindset coaches, gut health coaches. I have simplicity coaches. Coach Gina makes sure that the plan stays as simple as possible. The other thing that we offer is when you come into the group for coaching for Holy Healthy Holidays, we don't just fling you in the group and say, hey, figure it out. Coach Gina, she brings you in and orients you to the group, shows you how it works, makes sure you know the plan, gets you into your small group, introduces you to people, and encourages you, and makes sure you understand how to get the most out of Holy Healthy Holidays. We do a live Zoom every single Monday night. We have a sharecast that you can watch on Marco Polo that has information from all the coaches. It has links to devotions. It has exercise tips. It has just so much fun information. You get a menu every single week. You can choose whether you tweak it or change it or use it at all, but you get a menu every single week, plus access to a bank full of menus. We put you in your own exclusive Marco Polo small group where you can build, if you participate in the small group, okay, you can find an incredible level of support and friendship and community. The women in these small groups are besties. You have to participate. By just joining and not participating, you're not going to get anything out of it. This is not magic. You have to put in some effort and get in and get to know ladies. But these ladies will love on you and encourage you and support you. On October 1st, we're starting a little new process where we're going to have a daily schedule, daily checklist. Every morning it's going to post. These are the 5 things you should do today. Check in. You should comment on this post. You should watch this education. Every day there'll be a checklist of what is taking place that day in the group so that you know exactly what is on your plate. You also get weekly education. Every single week, I do a different education on both Monday and Tuesday. So really, you get twice weekly education. We do weekly challenges to keep you on your toes, just keep you thinking, keep you learning. You get a monthly workbook that you can print out and use. They're very simple. They're just different tracking tools to help you on your journey. And one of the most fun things that you get when you're part of Holy Healthy Holidays is you get 6 free holiday cooking classes. I normally charge about $20 per class for these classes. This year, every Holy Healthy Holidays, we double the amount of cooking classes we do because nobody wants to go through the holidays feeling like you can't enjoy any treats. We will make sure your freezer is full of treats. In October, we're going to make a pumpkin crisp and a hot pumpkin spice drink. We're going to, around the midway point of October, we're going to make turtles and Reese's. Who doesn't love those? I love turtles, love them. In November, we're going to make a cheesy squash casserole. We're going to make a sweet potato souffle. In December, we're going to have a class for a ham and Swiss quiche and a hot cocoa mix. Also in December, we're going to make Christmas appetizers. We're going to make bacon jam and garlic Parmesan wings. And then we're also going to have a cookie class where we're going to make magic cookie bars and cookie dough bars. All of these come free when you join Holy Healthy Holidays. You get to, and they all come with a replay. So you don't have to worry. If you look at this date and think there's no way I can join that, it's okay. You wait until after the class and it will be in your email. I want to read you quickly. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. I want to read you quickly a client testimonial that I recently got. She sent this over to me and it just meant the world to me. And I wanted you to hear from somebody else exactly what it's like to be part of Holy Healthy. This is from my friend Elizabeth. She's in Texas. She says, God brought me to KJ's community at a time when I was feeling completely lost and confused on my health and wellness journey. From that dark time, her free week in June showed up in my newsfeed, so I joined, desperate to find clarity and truth and hope when it came to food and eating and nutrition, and more than anything, mindset. The psychological journey of food and health can be more challenging or just as challenging as the physical. Enter KJ. As a woman of faith, her community is founded on truth and looking at women as whole people who need support and encouragement, body, mind, and soul. She teaches both the truth of Trim Healthy, but also the truth of God and the fact that our bodies are designed by Him and we are deeply loved and valued, and that our journey with food and health is a way to honor God and thank Him for the gift of our physical selves and how we fuel and care for our bodies. This is so helpful and allows for more stable foundation upon which to build an eating plan. And KJ has so much knowledge about the science of food and health and Trim Healthy. And she is a personal coach. Even with a huge community, she has built a coaching culture where she is accessible to each of her coaching participants. I've been encouraged and counseled by her, and God has used her to speak truth into my life about my journey with food and health. Further, she has built an amazing team of coaches who have so much insight and knowledge. Having small groups with small group coaches allows for real, authentic friendships to form, even across the miles, where we can have accountability and truth grow in our health journeys, individually and as a community. I'm forever thankful that God brought KJ and her coaching community into my life at a time when I desperately needed it. She is authentic and transparent and genuinely cares about women and our journeys with our food, our bodies, and our overall health. She'll meet you where you are and care about you as an individual and equip you to embrace true health in a supportive and real Trim Healthy community. That meant the world to me. When I read that, I did my fair share of crying because that really meant the world to me. But what she says is true. We meet you where you are. We want you to get what you need. And some people come into the community and they say, you know what, I'm never going to use a menu, KJ. It's just not for me. That's okay. But maybe what is for you is the small community that you are missing, the friendships that you really need. I find that most women that come into my community, they don't realize how lonely they are until they're not. And you think, how can I be best friends with somebody that I've never met in person, that's just this person on a screen, who my husband thinks it's weird because I'm talking to these weird fictional people behind a screen. But I can tell you, there's so many of my women in the community that have flown across the country to meet each other because they're now best friends. These relationships are genuine and true. And that testimony is from someone who doesn't even need to lose weight. She is on a different journey than most of us. She is struggling to maintain a healthy weight, to even maybe gain some weight. So this isn't just a group if you are struggling to lose weight. This is a group if you are struggling to make healthy choices for your body. So if you are interested in joining Holy Healthy Holidays, you will be receiving a link with the replay in your email. If you use code ONPLAN2024, you can pay a few different ways. So if you pay in full, you will get a discount that brings it to $254. If you use that on plan 2024, that will bring the price for the 3 full months to $254. Or I also offer a payment plan because I know that some people cannot pay the full amount up front, and that's okay. I offer a 3-payment easy payment plan where the first one gets $15 off. So it's $74.66. And then the next 2 payments are $89.66, I think, and $89.66. So a 3 easy payment plan. The other option where you can save money is if you choose to just sign up for recurring payments that just continue on. It's not a payment plan. You're just, it's like a membership. You join, you save even more, and it's $79 a month if you do that. I'm offering that special code as part of this. So those are your options for signing up. You can do this by going straight to my website, joyfullifewithkj.com, and it's right there on the front, Holy Healthy Holidays, and you can sign up there. And of course, if you ever have any questions, I'm happy to help. I am here live. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I am going to, Sebastian, my dog decides now is a good time to it says I'm muted. Am I muted right now? I hope you guys have been able to hear me. Okay. So how can I turn this on so that you guys can unmute? Let's see. I don't know that I actually can. If you have a question for me. If you can type it into the Q&A, there's a button on the bottom of your screen that says Q&A, and I can answer your questions live. I'm going to get rid of these past questions. These are not actually questions. So I am here, and if you have any questions, just go ahead and type it in the Q&A, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you have. Joanne, Marco Polo is a free app. There is an option to upgrade to like a pro membership where it gives you extra things like the ability to speed up people's speech. You can put them on 2x speed, and but you don't have to do that. You can use Marco Polo completely free. Excuse me. I just took a big drink of my tea and burped on a webinar. If you ever wondered if I'm real, that's the real me. I give you also, if you've never been in my group, I have a link to give you a free 2-month pass to the Plus if you want to try out Plus. I have a pass to give you free. Marco Polo gives me a pile of them to give to people in my group. So, but you don't have to do that. What else we got for questions? Any other questions this evening? Get a good group of folks on here. You will receive a replay. So if you want to listen again, you have more questions that come up after the fact, you can always message me on Facebook, send me a message on Marco Polo, text me, send me, bat signals, whatever. I'll get back to you. You can email me at kj@joyfullifewithkj.com as well. But I know you can also always reach me on Facebook if you have any questions whatsoever. So, all right, my friends, thank you for joining me tonight. Yeah, absolutely, Joanne. Absolutely. This is real life. And, until I started really telling people what it was really like for me, I had no idea how many people had these same struggles. I had no idea. Like, I knew I wasn't the only person in the world that had diet struggles. I knew that, but I had no idea how many people really had major, major struggles. And it took the accountability and the friendships to hold me accountable, to tell me when I needed, a little slap on the wrist. It took people surrounding me. It's literally a takes a village scenario, and that has pulled me out of such a place. But it also took me doing the work and participating and getting in the word and being part of something and eating the right things. Yeah, Mama Joyful's here. She said, and eating the right things. And it takes time, but when I got through the holidays 100% on plan, it's so much easier, you guys. It is so much easier. People will say to me, I can't believe you've been on plan for 1,450 days. How did you do that? I struggle once in a while. There are some things that I'd like to have on occasion, but it's nowhere near the struggle it used to be. It's so much easier when you're just all in. It's so much simpler. Hannah says, not a question, but just wanted to say on October 1st, 2022, I joined Holy Healthy Holidays and it made that year better. Last year, it came around again and I stayed on plan through the holidays. Today, I am on day 95 of being 100% on plan, and it is easier to stay on plan. It really, truly is. It truly is. These small groups, Hannah says, these small groups are amazing and truly have become the best friends. Yes, went from lonely to knowing I have friends right there. Truly the best. We were even all cooking Thanksgiving together and giving ideas back and forth. That we haven't done it for a while, but some of us used to gather on Sunday afternoons and do our food prep via Marco Polo. We'd have it on and we'd all chit chat back and forth and do our food prep, and just, I always have my earbud in my ear and I'll do laundry and I'm listening to Marco Polo and I'm answering questions and talking. And it's really nice to have friends surrounding you all the time. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me live tonight. You'll get a replay in your email and a link to sign up. And I hope to see you for Holy Healthy Holidays. I love you guys. Have a great night.